Alright guys, today we are going to be doing the carburetor on a Honda Harmony en2500 generator. Any of the materials, parts that I need to use today will be in the description below. These are kind of a pain in the ass, just mainly because you got to hold so many parts together here as you're putting it all together. It's what it is though. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and pull this air filter cover and air filter them out of the way. I like using the air filter cover as a parts container to, you know, hold on any parts. We've got a hose over here. We're going to pull off the bottom of this intake manifold. I'm going to give it a twist back and forth, and that breaks it free, and it can pull right off. That's it for that. Then we got two 10mm bolts. Pop them out. It's all the way out. And you'll see there's just so many different layers of stuff here. But we're going to try to get the first layer right there off. No problem. Put that to the side. And then we've got this right here, this choke arm. I'm going to pull out of here. That way we can disconnect it. This needs to come off this way. These things are a pain in the ass. So much shit going on in them. I'm gonna just knock off this back side here. It's not wanting to come free. I'm gonna need two hands. I'm gonna get that knocked off is all. There we go. We got this back side out. We're gonna go ahead and remove this out of the way. Just leave the gaskets right where they lie, right in place. Has that got a gasket on it? Oh yeah, it does. Alright, yeah, leave all the gaskets right where they are. Don't mess with them. Set that to the side. Now you see this is trying to come right on down out of here now. Just move this right out of the way. Got a fuel line. Let's disconnect that. Alright, and then this is a little S-turn. It just pulls off. Get the spring off. Like that. And then the choke arm will flop right out of the way, just so you know. It'll fall off. It goes on the outside. Choke arm goes on outside loop. I need two hands. The carb out so we can clean it, but we need to clean the tank too. They get tar in them, so it's full of gas. It evaporates down, and it becomes a layer of tar on it. And this thing's been sitting for, he said this thing's been sitting for years, so no telling how much is in there. The fuel pump, see that's the air supply, the vacuum line supply right here for the fuel pump. Pull that off. Then you've got 2 bolts here, 2 bolts here. They're all 10mm. Pop them out. This whole tank will pull out. No problem. Fuel pump and everything will come right on out. So what we're going to go ahead and do is unplug the bottom fuel line here, drain all the tank out, and then I'll dump a little diesel fuel or something in here, swish it around real good. I actually Robert did it. Made a little cable with a rag on it that we put in a drill. Just like inside of a shift cable for a boat with a rag on it. So we'll go through that, spinning around, just clean up the whole tank. So get the tank completely cleaned. And while we're soaking the tank with some diesel fuel, we're going to go ahead and take this 10mm out. If it stays on the bolt, leave it on the bolt. If it stays on the bolt, leave it on the bolt. You don't want to do as little as possible. You don't want to rip it, you know. Pull off. We're going to go ahead and pull this pin out. Come on. Hold on. Pull this float and needle valve out. Leave this gasket alone in here. Do not mess with it. You'll break it, and then you got to buy a new one. All right, we're getting down to specialty stuff here. Let me show you a trick. I use 14 karat gold testing solution to clean my brass bits, the jets and such. Shoot, you know what? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's just that one. So we need to give it a little bit of a cleaning to be able to get the jet out without stripping it. So I've tried all the other acids. None of them work. I've tried making my own acid. This is the only one that works well. Some of them are too strong and they burn it up or burn the aluminum up. I've melted carburetors. It's foul. This is perfect strength. So 14 karat testing solution. Here, let me turn this light on. Torch on. All right, and we're just going to put a couple of drops right in. Just let it kind of simmer in there. See, it's strong enough to clean the jet out really well, but not too strong where it melts the jet or melts the aluminum. When it kind of stops simmering, we're going to gently rinse it out. Make sure you wear gloves, safety goggles. This will burn your skin. Do I have any burns? No. Yeah, there. See that color, the discolored skin there? That's where it burnt the skin. It's not going to melt your finger off. It's just going to stain it until the skin peels. If you get it on your skin or get in your eyes, just be calm. Go to the nearest water supply, rinse it with water. Keep a bottle of water near you while you're doing this, just in case. All right, now that it's slowed down on the simmer, we're going to slowly rinse out so we don't get any splash back into our eyes. Slowly rinse it out. Just kind of dump this acid and carb mixture out, and you can see how it's gotten kind of cleaner. Give it a little hard squirt through it. This would probably actually be all right now, just the way it is, but we're going to remove this jet and orifice tube. Hold on. I use a number 2 flathead screwdriver. I ground the sides off with a grinder so that it fits down in there. It grips the jet better when you use the big screwdriver. It's the medium screwdriver, not the small one. The medium, you just grind the edges off so that it fits down in there. And then you turn counterclockwise to get it done. But you're going to go counterclockwise until you find that slot. Right there it is. And then you're going to hold that carb tight and push down hard on the screwdriver and give it, a quick jerk just to freaking break it free and then get it out. If you start stripping it, don't worry about it. Just boil it with acid, rinse it out, leave it in there. But we're going to try to remove this. Unscrew it all the way, tape it up. You may have to bang on this one. You got it upside down. Orifice tube in the jet came out, so we're going to set the jet upside down. Try to set the orifice tube there. All right, we're going to go a couple drops in the orifice tube, a couple drops in the jet, and then the carburetor. We got a little hole right here, right there. A couple drops in that. A couple drops in this one here. We're gonna let all that simmer and do its thing, and we're gonna rinse it off real well. So we're gonna rinse slowly at first. And then a little bit more pressure. Easier when you hold it with 2 hands. Rinse slowly. A little more pressure. Then I'm going to hold these with both hands and spray through them really good. We're going to rinse through where the gas flows. Make sure that's good and clear. Make sure in here is good and clear. Make sure the bowl, everything else is good and clear. The bowl, everything. The float needle valve, make sure it's real clean. Bolt that. Make sure everything's very clean. We're going to reassemble. Flat side up like that, not this side. Flat side. That. and then the jet, the flathead screw side up like that, and push that down in with the flathead screwdriver, and then screw it down tight. We're going to go ahead and put the floating needle valve back in place. The needle valve is like that. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in. Let's see if I can do this. There it is. Made it down in. And then the pin to hold it all in place. The pin in. Everything out one more time. Make sure there's no dirt. Staining's fine. See, there's a little bit of yellow staining. That's fine. You just don't want any crunchy dirt in this carb at all, because it'll clog that tiny hole in that jet. Let me put this back on acid so I don't spill it in my lap or something fun like that. Carburetor is going to go back on with the drain bolt on the opposite side of the fuel inlet, like that. Make sure the bottom of this bolt is clean. See, it's a little pocket, so you've got to scrape it. Whatever you got to do, get it cleaned right on out. We're going to go ahead and tighten that back down. This wasn't bad. That jet was slightly clogged, and that's why it wouldn't run. Then 10 millimeter, tighten that bowl down. Back to the gas tank. I've gotten it all drained out. I'm just and cleaned. Just kind of lay this in here, and then we're going to just drop it right into this section here. 4 bolts with washers. We're going to tighten this back in place. Make sure this vacuum line is plugged in down there. Slide this carburetor back in here. We're going to need to get this throttle arm back in here with the spring. Also, I'll get the choke arm in place, and then get the fuel line plugged back in. All that hooked up. This is where the fun part starts to begin. We're going to set this back in the back here. Hold on. All the gaskets and everything's on there. Just don't try not to knock anything off, because if this comes off, then you got more parts you're going to have to hold in place. It's a pain in the ass. Hold on. You see where my finger is? There's this flap of metal here that sits right on that fin and kind of holds that in place. We're going to throw our bolts. Make sure that these little metal spacers are in there. They fall out sometimes. Put our bolts through. This is where it gets fun. We can't put the bolts all the way through. We can only have them just in there. Come here, Robert. You get to record this fucking shit show.
Oh. Yes, master.
Alright, here. Freaking, it's already recording it. So, you gotta get... Here, you might want to come over on this side. It might give you a little more view. We gotta get the bolts through this metal piece first. Just get them through a little bit, not too much, like, you know, about so much. Then we're gonna get this carburetor lifted up into place. Here, I know it's fucking pain in the ass to record. Hold on. Get this thing back in position. Get this lifted up into place. And get the bolt slid through it. Hold on, my hand's going to be in the way, but I'll move it out of the way in a minute. There we go. Through it. And then we can get to this back plate.
Oh, let me get up here.
Yeah. Here, turn the flashlight on here. Right. There you go. Now look. And you get the plate lined up. Get the bolts through it, and then once you got the bolts through that, you can line up to where the bolts go and start the bolts. It's easy.
And it's just that easy.
Yeah. You won't be cussing this and the engineers out at all.
Yeah.
Alright, it's starting. No, not really. Yeah, it's starting. Alright, then you tighten those 2 bolts down. Oh, no, it isn't starting. Yeah, now that side's starting. No, it's not. Freaking yay! Yay! There it is. Alright. Tighten them down. Pause. And then this is the part where you realize you forgot to get the choke rod where it belongs. Then you may have to take the whole thing apart again just to get into position. Come on, get over that freaking thing. Is it gonna go over it? No, it isn't, is it? Fucking bullshit. Stop recording. We're gonna try to work this around without losing parts. Come on, you motherfucker. You won't be cussing this out at all. Such a breeze. Oh, this fucking thing's gotta come out. Goddamn piece of goddamn engineers and I literally have to take all this off and start over. Why won't it come up and go over? And dear Lord, here.
Alright, we go. Yes, I go.
So make sure you get the choke in place. Then, stupid piece of freaking. Oh, look, the vacuum line's coming off. I almost put it all back together again. Make sure that vacuum line stays in place, because it likes to slide out. Don't push the bolts all the way into this. We're gonna work our way through it all again, one more time, because you know it wasn't fun the first time. This would be a good time to be doing the fast forward where I start screaming and frickin' sound like a chipmunk. We come all the way through.
Needs a bigger hammer?
All the way through, I said. Why? Oh, it's
Isolator block drop.
It's hitting the frickin'.
Yeah, you almost have to get that in place
Yeah, I
first
gotta
and
get
then
this
slide
in
them
place first, you know. Such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, well,
They were really thinking when they did
those
this
engineers.
Dear Lord, there. Here, come over here and show them this. This is what was killing me. This was on this side, it has to be on that side. And then we can line.
Okay, come again?
Right here, this was on this side, killing me.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got to be on that side. Then we get it all back together. Then we pretend to get it all back together one more time so we can take it apart because we're freaking not.
Because you knocked the choke lever out.
If you're the engineer for this company, contact me. I'd love to have a one-on-one conversation with you in private.
Yeah.
We'll go out in the Everglades and go fishing. Frickin' thing, dear Lord. Alright, got all that through. Throttle arm's sticking now. Get out of there. You know what's funny is I'll probably get contacted by an engineer and they're like, you're doing it wrong, look at this. There's like this super easy way to do it.
Thank you for the information, and I still don't like you.
Alright, it's starting in there now. Get it tightened up. Pause. Get it all tightened down, kind of double check everything. Vacuum line's on. Oh, the fuel drain down there is kind of tangled up on the spring, so we're gonna just kind of work our way around it. Oh, let me get the needle nose. It goes on the back side of that spring like that. This drains down. There we go. Choke arm's okay. It's working. Tighten it down. Reconnect this hose back. It's all tightened down. Check the oil level, make sure the oil is full. I've already done that. We're going to go ahead and put some fresh gas in this. Gas in there, we're going to dump a little bit in the carburetor, just a little bit, so that we can get it going, because we've got to get the fuel pump going to get the carburetor filled up. We may have to do that a couple times. I'll see what happens here. Alright, so it fills it up pretty quick. It's just a little splash of gas to get in there to help get it going. She's ready to rock and roll now. Put the air filter on. That didn't go on. Hold on. That's it, guys. Hope that helped you out. If it did, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I will find all the parts that you could possibly need for this tune-up kit, carburetor, you know, everything you can find for this thing that I can find for this thing that you'll need for this. The carburetor for these are super cheap on Amazon. I'll put the link down below, and it usually comes with air filter, a recoil, fuel, you know, fuel filter, whatever the heck. It comes with everything that you'll need for this. Alright guys, again, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. If you want to do any advertising through my channel, message me. I'll be more than happy to have you. Peace.